Hello, everyone. Welcome to Court with Krissy. A fire significantly damaged a home back in 2022, and now the township is taking the owner to court. Do you think he has what it takes to bring his casa up to compliance? Watch and find out. I hope you like it. Court with Krissy is now in session.
Oh, we had it. There you go. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay, this is for formal hearing today. I believe the parties have talked. Mr. Gilner, have the two of you talked?
A couple of times. We spoke this morning. We've spoken since the last hearing. And I think, at an impasse. What I'm asking for today is a judgment against Mr. Green. I don't want to speak for him, but my understanding is he's not necessarily opposed to a judgment. He just wants to be able to continue working on the structure to bring it into compliance. The problem with that is he has no building permit in place. And so what we're prepared to do is to issue him a permit, but only if he posts or can bring forth a surety bond in the amount of $100,000 to protect the township in case he doesn't complete the work. So again, I'm asking for a judgment today with an understanding that we'll issue a permit upon him posting $100,000 surety bond.
Okay. Mr. Green,
Yes.
what do you want to do today? I guess that's the, I guess it's more or less an offer, I guess. What do you want to do?
Well, I'm so close to being able to show a whole lot of progress. All the materials are bought. They're all here on the premise. We were all ready to go when this came down to where they wouldn't renew my building permit. And I mean, it's like all the insurance companies that I talk to want more information about the surety bond. And I've been to the township and talked to them, and their description of it is a liability surety bond for non-performance. The insurance companies, to issue the surety bond, they want more information about that, then they won't even talk to me. I mean, there's so many of them that they haven't even called me back.
Yeah.
It's like I'm at a bypass. I don't know what to do when this is all the description they'll give or the information that I can give to get the bond.
Mr. Gildner, I don't know enough about normally what they're going to request from as far as information. It sounds pretty simple to me, just a surety bond for $100,000 to ensure the work gets completed, right?
That's exactly right. And this morning I told Mr. Green that I would be happy to talk to any insurance company that had questions about the scope and extent of the surety bond. No one has contacted me. I've also explained that if we receive judgment today, either by consent or otherwise, we can't do anything with enforcement of that for a period of time, which gives him some time to try to come up with the surety bond. And I'm happy to help in any way that I can.
Okay. And Mr. Green, and I know it feels like you're getting pressed, but we got to have some conclusion to it here at some point.
Well, I haven't had response
Okay.
from I tried to talk to Mike several times, left messages, nobody got back with me.
Okay.
The building inspector I wanted to know what was unsafe about my structure. He told me because someone could walk through my front garage and go upstairs where it has not been completed in the garage. So we secured that. We blocked the door off and put a padlock door on the front. And when they're saying I didn't do any work before the building permit expired. I had done work, they just hadn't seen it, or they hadn't seen the progress of the front door assembly being in, and the header behind the wall that supports the carport, that was all done on the inside of the building. So they, they didn't know any of that stuff. And I mean, I guess I'm in just a procedure deal because I'm trying like heck, and I think everybody's got something against me because, I mean, I don't know if you remember the first case when they did me for the blight. And I told you that I'd never realized how messy my place was
Okay.
until I started doing it. When I started doing it, the code enforcement, Scott, came out and he told me what I needed to do, and I'd already started cleaning that up. And then he came out the next day, and Joe, the supervisor, made him come out and write me a ticket when he was letting me show progress. I wound up getting stung by 25 bees cleaning it up, going over and make it like a madman on my tractor, getting over to my neighbor,
Yeah.
pulled into his driveway. I passed out, pulled the throttle down, and bumped the front of his garage and messed his front garage up. The ambulance came and stuff like that, but I'd come back around because I passed right out. So ever since that moment, this has just been, and I've had to work so hard cleaning the place up. And like I told you before, I didn't realize how messy my place was until I had to clean it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I did clean it up. And then some other type of I mean, the place maybe had a little spot here, a little spot there, but for some reason they came back and issued me another ticket.
Okay. But
And
it's,
that's,
yeah, no, I understand all that, but I guess today's a little bit different scenario with the fire damage is what it is. I guess, Mr. Gillen, the only thing we can do is just, I guess, have the hearing, and I'll just make some reasonable
is
decisions, I
there
guess.
any way that I could go up and talk to Joe and show him pictures of what I've done? I don't even know if he has seen all the stuff that I've done or helped. Everything seems to be like in a procedure type deal, that time period or this I don't think people are communicating. And I've been told, it's hearsay, but I've been told that Joe just don't care what's happened to
Well,
you or
Yeah, let's hold off on that then. Let's just, Mr. Gill, I don't know, I guess he's asking for some communications. I don't know, maybe it's already been done. Is he
I
talking?
haven't been able to
Excuse
communicate.
excuse me, Mr. Green.
Hold
So,
on.
yes, Mr. Green called me one time, left a message asking me for the names of some surety bond companies. My role here is on behalf of the township. I'm
Yeah.
able to answer some questions, but it's not my job to secure a surety bond.
Yeah,
He went to the township. My understanding is he spoke with the supervisor last week or maybe 10 days ago.
Well, not the supervisor. I didn't get to speak to him.
Excuse me.
hold on, Mr. Green. Oh, yep, just hold on.
So I don't want this to get sidetracked about the surety bond. I agree with Your Honor. I think that we can have a formal hearing. We can get a judgment. If he wishes then to apply for a building permit, we can deal with him separately on the surety bond and those conditions.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and do that, because I think Mr. Green needs to know exactly what he's faced
Sure.
with as far as what needs to be done still. So, do we have I guess you've got a witness. Is it your code enforcement officer?
Yes, it is.
Is here on the case.
Why, I've got somebody in the courtroom apparently. Why? Sir,
I'm here to listen to this case.
what's your name?
Jeff Herrick.
How are you involved in this?
I'm a reporter for the.
Oh, okay. I just don't have a monitor on or anything. Are you,
Sorry.
you know what? I probably didn't have it on public. It's on public now, actually. It's up to you. What if you, I don't mind if you sit here, but I just don't have a monitor that.
That's fine, I'm listening.
Oh, okay, okay. If you're okay, we'll just
Yeah.
go ahead. Okay. Just for Mr. Gilder, Mr. Green, say, I've got one of the reporters here.
That's
for
fine.
this
Yep,
case.
understood.
Yeah, so he's just in the courtroom and I just haven't got a monitor on, but it sounds like, as long as you're hearing okay. Okay. Mr. Gildner, I guess, given what I'm hearing, is it your code enforcement officer?
It is, and I would call him Stuart Worthing to the stand.
Okay. Okay, and Mr. Worthing?
Yes.
Okay, why don't you raise your right hand for me?
Okay.
Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
Yes.
Okay. And Mr. Green, you can hear him okay as well?
Yes, I
Okay,
can,
good.
kind of. I didn't know who it was at first, but
Okay. All right, Mr. Gilner, you can proceed for me.
Thank you. Mr. Worthing, what is your relationship with Vienna Township?
I'm the building official
How long have you served in that capacity?
at the township, approximately just over 2 years, I believe.
All right. Do you know the address of Mr. Green's property in the township?
Yes, on Clio Road. Yes.
Would you state that address, please?
I don't know the number. I don't have it right in front of me, but I know it's Clio Road.
All right. And that is located in Vienna Township?
That is correct.
Did he have a fire at his place some years ago?
Yes, he did.
Can you describe the extent of damage to the structure as a result of the fire?
I guess before we get there, if he doesn't have an address for me, I gotta have some kind of description or something.
Sure.
I've got the address.
Okay, I just want to make sure he knows which address. If you want to, Mr. Gilder, I guess just give him the address and see if that's the one he's talking about, maybe. Sounds like everybody's gonna be on the same page with the address, but
Yep. Judge, and I'm trying to pull up the citation myself here, but
I've got what, is it, Mr. Worthing, is it, Clio Road? Clio,
Yes, it sounds about-
and Mr. Green, is that your address? we're just gonna cut through.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, it is.
okay.
Mr. Worthing, describe the extent of damage to the structure as a result of that fire.
From my initial investigation on it, the fire was done, had started and was done before I became the building official there. So I kind of got brought into this midway. But my first inspection on the property, there was extensive in the garage. The garage roof had been tore off. Some fire damage in the upstairs of the dwelling, smoke water damage throughout the house due to the fire department putting the fire out.
And how long ago did this fire occur?
I believe it was about 2 years ago. I don't have that date right in front of me.
All right. Was a citation issued against Mr. Green as a result of the resulting condition of that property?
Yes.
And what was the citation for? What was he alleged to have violated?
The building code, because we had an unsafe structure and we felt it was an imminent danger to the surrounding communities due to the extensive damage and things laying around and exposure to elements.
All right, so essentially an unsafe structure.
Yes.
You said it was open to the elements. Can you describe that?
When you went through the garage to go upstairs, there was an upstairs to the garage and it was just open. The rafters had been tore off and you could walk right off the side of the garage down to the ground level, which was probably just guessing probably about a 14-foot drop. And then again, it was the building was deemed unsafe for human occupancy at that time. And so I tagged it that no one could live there until the structure was either repaired or demoed.
Okay. Have there been improvements made to the property since the fire?
Not significant that I have been aware of. Again, I haven't really done a lot of inspections on it. They haven't been called and this permit expired. And that's why we're at where we're at now.
Okay. Does it remain an unsafe structure in your opinion?
Yes,
For the reasons that you described?
correct.
And as a result, are you asking on behalf of the township for a judgment giving us injunctive relief to do what we need to do regarding that structure.
That is correct.
Judge, that's all I have of Mr. Worthing.
Hey, Mr. Green, you get a chance to question him as well. Do you have any questions for the code enforcement officer?
Yes, I do. I've called him several times since I found out what it was. Okay, left messages. He has. This is the first time I've got to talk to him. He did tell me
Well, hold
at
on.
the beginning.
Hold on, Mr. I'll give you a chance to testify too, but this is just questions for him right now, okay? So you got to keep it narrow, just questions.
Okay, that's. Well, I just want to let him know that the property has been secured. The big garage door got enclosed with a padlock door,
Green, you gotta,
so it's safe. It's safe. They can't
Mr.
do
Green,
that.
hold on. You want to tell me a bunch of things and I'll give you a chance to do that. Do you have any questions for him? Maybe you don't have any questions for him. If you do, you got to ask the
Well,
question.
that was my question. That's the reason I've been trying to
Yes.
talk to them, and they haven't responded to me.
Okay, so ask the question.
About. So the question is, I've got it secured. It's locked up. Nobody can come in it. So am I complying?
I would have to verify that, but again, the problem is that we need a building permit that is effective.
The reason I did that because you guys wanted me to come in compliance. And that was the issue, that it was an unsafe structure and it is safe. Now, I can show you pictures.
Let me
Nobody,
let me just interject for a second then. We've got two broad viewpoints. Mr. Worthing, when was the last time you were on the property?
I was on the property. I would have to guess again. I don't have dates. I'm on the road. I don't have dates in front of me. I would say it was probably about 6 weeks ago or so, 7 weeks ago.
So
wasn't ever aware of it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Green, what? Mr. Worthing, so about 6 weeks ago, that's the last time you can remember? I understand we may not have an exact date, but if it was 6 weeks, would have been a month and a half ago, maybe.
Correct.
Middle of May, April? Or middle of May, I guess I'm not sure where we're at. I'm sorry, May?
Yes.
And the ticket was written May 13th, 2024, the citation that I have in the file.
Okay, that would be the date then, because I would have went to the structure prior to issuing the violation just to get my eyes on it.
Okay, so if you were on the property on May 13th, 2024, describe for me with particularly what condition the property was in at that time that causes it to be unsafe.
The property was in disrepair. Again, it was open to the outside. I mean, I walked right through the garage. There was no garage door. There's a stairway to the right. I went up the stairway, and again, the upstairs level of the garage area, which accesses into the house, was wide open towards the back and the northwest corner of the garage and house. Again, and then just extensive damage due to the fire and smoke and water damage.
Okay, so when you say extensive damage, you got to bear with me. That doesn't mean a whole lot other than it causes me to question some other things. Tell me what you mean by extensive damage.
Fire damage to the structure. There was a lot of rafters that were burnt. The floor joists seemed to be in decent shape. Again, I would probably order a structural engineer to verify some of the headers within that, to give me whether or not that wood, because once a fire occurs, a lot of times the wood, anything that's charred has to be removed. Things with extensive smoke damage and heat sometimes has to be removed, and a structural engineer would come in.
Okay. So when the ticket was written, you've listed here, it says, all it says is fire damage to home, in 2022.
Mhm.
Right, and then it says expired permit, which you just testified to. No work being done, unsafe structure and unfit for human occupancy. That's all you
Correct.
ticket. Does that cover, I guess, the broad spectrum of what you're complaining of?
Yes, it does.
Okay. When the permit that was expired, can you tell me when it expired?
I believe it expired right around the first part of May, just before the citation was issued out. Again, I don't have records right in front of me, but that's about the date that it expired. I think it was like the first week of May.
Okay, I'm getting a little bit annoyed though, that we're in a hearing and you have no documentation. All I keep getting is, well, I don't have any records with me. It was set for today. It's getting a little bit annoying for me when you're not ready to go and I'm trying to help you out a little bit, but you're questioning everything and I'm getting vague answers. Why aren't you prepared today? Why aren't you ready to go?
I work for 3 different municipalities.
I don't care about the other municipality. We're set for a formal hearing today.
I apologize to the court.
Judge, if I can interject, just to paint with a broad brush the time frame. So the fire occurred more than 2 years ago. Permits, a permit expired whenever it expired. If we say it was in April of 2024, those are 1-year permits. So this structure has sat in this condition for a 2-year period of time. I believe for purposes of today, all we need to establish is that on May 13th, it was an unsafe structure, and he has testified that it was open to the elements. There was a fall risk. It was a hazard to anyone who may stumble upon it. And so there are these tangential issues, but in terms of the basics and the necessary elements, he's testified, I think, clearly as to the violation.
Mr. Green, do you have any other questions for him? I've kind of taken over a little bit, but
Oh, what I don't understand is that when I found out what he meant about my place being unsafe, I have totally locked that place up. Nobody can get to that spot.
again,
As far as the smoked up
hold on.
stuff inside the garage,
You gotta bear with me. I gotta handle this in an orderly fashion. I guess if you don't have any questions for him, if you want to testify, I'll let you do that now. If you're done questioning him, I'll let you tell me whatever you want.
well, I would like to know, like, I was supposed to be trying to comply from when we had our date before.
Again, what's your
And they
question?
give me,
What's your question for him?
well, I did comply. I fixed up the part that
Tell me-
is dangerous.
If you got questions for him, that's fine. You're telling me things. And then,
Oh, you talking about asking Stuart? Okay,
yeah, that's all I'm asking right now.
okay, as far as the smoke goes inside the garage part, it is being soda blasted. That's the next step to soda blast to clean all of that up. It's like with that, and I was told by Scott, the code enforcement guy,
Mr. Green,
that I could.
hold on. Mr. Green, you're not asking any questions. Well, I guess if you're done questioning, I'll get you a chance to testify. If you want to do that, why don't you raise your right hand for me? Why don't you raise your right hand?
Well, I would like to get some more clarification from Stuart.
Then ask the questions. You can't tell me things. Ask.
Okay, Stuart, what else do I need to do to comply besides making it a safe structure, which I've done?
Basically, have your office permit, and then I need to do a walkthrough once everything is cleaned out to where I can see the full extent of damage to the structure. And then from that point, we can move forward with what repairs need to take place to get the structure not only safe, but in compliance with the building code.
All right, so how much time do you want, or when do you want to do that, or a couple of weeks, or go ahead, do I take the judgment and then try to do everything to comply to you? I mean, I'm just wanting to get my house back.
Right. I just need an active permit, and that's what the township is asking for, an active permit with a surety bond, and then we can move forward.
Okay, now, do you have any knowledge yourself about how to describe what the surety bond needs to cover? Because I can't get the information. The insurance companies won't talk to me. Some of them won't even submit it because the description of the surety bond is a liability surety bond for non-performance. They want more details before they're going to give me a surety bond.
As Mr. Gildner said, I wouldn't have a problem talking to your insurance company or whoever you're going to have post the bond. The bond just needs to state that the township has the right, if you don't perform according to your building permit, then the township has the right to use your surety bond to demolish the house or whatever we deem necessary to get into compliance to where we have a safe property. I mean, we would love nothing more than to have your house finished up and be beautiful. We just need to get to that point.
Oh, and this is a key point of it all turning around right now. That's what is so depressing, and the insurance companies mess with me so much. It's like, and then having to do all the cleanup without being able to put my time towards a house. Or I mean, I just wish somebody would kind of understand the situation I'm in. And
I would be more than happy to sit down with you and even help you with your insurance company with what I can. Again, that's something you have to do, but I can answer questions that they need.
okay, as long as I got some assurance that somebody's going to help me or give me some advice. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know how to do this. All I can do is go by the people I go up to, and they tell me they need more information to be able. They can't even get the people that specialize in surety bonds to even accept it. You know, it's like they don't even want to talk to me without me giving them more information about what the surety bond is covered. You know, it's what
Okay, I guess, now I guess I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm mediating this thing instead. Mr. Gildner, if we were to have, given what I'm hearing, it sounds like both sides agree that the structure is in disrepair. Let's just call it disrepair. If we had a judgment that says Mr. Green has got to get an active permit within a certain period of time for the repairs needed with a surety bond, is that basically what you need on your end? Right
Yes,
now with the time period?
yes. So a judgment with an understanding that he needs an active permit. An active permit would be accompanied by a surety bond in that amount. And Mr. Worthing has made himself available here to Mr. Green. If he has questions about how, what that entails, he can call on him to get that.
Okay, Mr. Green, does that work for you? You tell me, because
yes, that's what I've wanted, and I haven't been able to get it. I haven't been able to get information, no callbacks, you know. But yes, I mean, I've got to do what I got to do to get my house back. So it looks like
give me some reason, but between the two of you, Mr. Gildner and Mr. Green, I guess, give me some reasonable time period. What's reasonable to get a permit? How long do we need? Or building inspector, Mr. Worthing, maybe you can help me out. How long, what normal is a normal time frame for him to get a permit, given what you got with his premises there? I know it's been a while. It's been a year on that other one, but what's reasonable for him at this point?
We're going to have the permit if we want the bond, once the bond is placed, and then I would do a 6-month permit.
Okay, so you'd have a 6-month permit, but how much, then Mr. Gilner, I'm asking you, I guess, how much time do we need to get the permit?
Well, so But what Mr. Worthing is saying is, issuance of the permit is conditioned on him getting the bond.
Right.
So we can't really answer that without knowing how, when is the bond? My understanding is, once he has a bond in hand, a permit can be turned around in a day's time or less.
Sure, and what I'm asking is, give me some reasonable time frame so when we can get it just. What's reasonable time period for him to say, hey, listen, I'm gonna order Mr. Green to have this bond in permit actually, but the bond in place by this date, and if it's not in place, the city, is it city? I guess, is this city?
Township.
Township can come in and I guess either,
I would say 30 days, which factors into the fact that this we were last before you at least 2 weeks ago, if not longer, where this was first discussed. So I would say 30 days from today's date.
Mr. Green, why don't you tell me what, given what you're going through, what's reasonable for you then? They're telling me 30 days for surety bond in permit actually, but
Well, this whole 2 weeks time that he's talking about, I have tried. They will not give me a surety bond without a better description of what the township wants. My hands are tied. I can't get nobody to talk to me because that's the only information the township wants to give me is for a non-performance. No details. The surety bond, they're not gonna give you that money unless they know more about it.
so I guess, Mr. Worthing, for my sake, and you're still under oath, what does he need to accomplish on the property to at least, I understand it's this ongoing thing, but what does he need to make the premises, I guess, safe? What do we need to do?
If the front is secured, then they can't accept the upstairs. So again, I would have to inspect that and look at that. And as far as the surety bond, like I said to Mr. Green, I don't have a problem if he wants to get with me and have the insurance company, whatever their form is, I will look at his form and help him fill out from our standpoint what we're looking at as far as the bond goes.
Okay. Okay, I guess, Mr. Gilder, Mr. Green, I guess the way for me to get, I guess, some kind of finality to it is, Mr. Gilder, I think what we'll do a judgment from everything I've heard. Mr. Green, I guess anything else you want to tell me before I make a decision on the judgment?
Yeah, they're agreeing for 30 days, right? Yeah, I think so. First goes talking. Oh, is it froze up?
I hear you. You're still there, Mr. Green.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Anything else you want to tell me before I make a decision? I think he did disappear now. I think I'm sorry?
It said his connection was low.
What did it?
Back.
Well, so I tell you, there he is.
Back.
Yep, he's back on.
Can
Yep.
you hear me?
Yep, I can. Yeah, you can turn your video off if you want, if that helps. You know how to turn your video off there? It's a little on the bottom of the screen, it says video.
Well, I couldn't hear what you guys were talking about.
Yeah,
But
back on.
I'll go along with the 30 days for me to come talk to Stuart and get something going on with the insurance companies, a better description or, cause I'm hearing bits and pieces of it, but I want to go forward. So it's like,
All right, so all right, let's do this then. Given what I'm hearing from Mr. Green too, he wants finality to it too, but let's do I don't think he's quite understanding the severity of what's gonna be allowed here, but let's give 45 days, Mr. Gildner.
Mm-hmm.
45 days to secure a surety bond and active permit for the property.
And that bond would be in the amount of 100,000?
Yes.
Very good. I'll submit the judgment under 7-day.
And Mr. Green, if I'm giving you 45 days to do that, you gotta bear with me, that's gonna be an order, so it's gotta be done. Otherwise, and Mr. Gildner, if it's not done, here's the other part Mr. Green's gotta understand. If it's not done within that 45 days, I'm gonna allow the township to come on and either demolish the property or make it compliant with the township ordinance to make it safe and secure. Okay? So put that in the order as well.
Will do.
All right. And Mr. Green, if for some reason you're complaining that their township's not doing their job, you're gonna have to file a motion for me, okay? In the meantime, but I'm trusting,
Yeah, I just want to get along. I just want to get along and get things done, do what I want me to do.
Okay.
I'm in my house back
yeah.
and
Well,
it's gonna be,
I appreciate what you're telling me. Hopefully this'll work. At least you have some clear path of what needs to be done, okay? Hope you kind of cut out there.
Judge, I'll submit the,
my
judgment.
voice.
Mr. Green?
Can you hear me?
Yep,
Hello?
you're there.
Okay. Hello. Stuart, know that after the fourth,
Yeah, he cut out. We've concluded on the,
Thank you, Judge. I'll submit the judgment.
okay. All right.